So I want to talk about how to become a productive PhD student. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward to help you out. So I created this sharing economy editing platform. That's what reciprocity.com is. The E is written with a 3. It's to help out people that were like me. I was in graduate school and I wanted to get some help on my writing and I didn't know where to turn to. And so once I became a professor and I was actually making pretty good income, I decided to take a portion of all of the money that I ever make and keep dedicating to building this thing out. So go and go use it. It's actually some really cool things on there now. I'm planning to build up more things to help us out in terms of productivity. So, here's what you need to do in terms of becoming more productive as a PhD student, as a professor, whoever you are, right? Like this is generally in the academic game, this is what you need to do. The first thing is you need to shut out as much people as you possibly can and be isolated as much as you possibly can so that you can work alone and get work done. The other thing is you need to have a work group, some set of scholars that you're working together with and that you can shoot ideas with and shoot ideas back and forth. And the third thing is to do this for an extendedly long period of time and to constantly dedicate all of your life to the productivity game. So as you can imagine, that doesn't sound all that fun in terms of what's going on in your life. And in the near term, this is what ends up happening. As your productivity increases, it generally does. But then what ends up happening in the long run is that you become an incredibly sad person. And you go through a lot of emotional problems when you do this. And many people that do this, including myself, will end up having various different moments in their life where they don't believe in themselves and they go through all of these personal experiences. And to some degree, academia forces you to do this. And many people don't realize this when you go in. I didn't realize this when I went into the profession. I thought it would have been a lot more collaborative in the sense that you get to work together on teams and you're working within a group every day, but that's not what happens in most academic arenas. Much of it is very isolating. And much of what we do is incredibly isolating. So we end up working by ourselves because that's how we become productive. I began to realize that, wait a minute, a lot of people are very self-centered in this profession and people don't want to help other people out because they're worried about themselves. And so I had to begin to work by myself and to sort of push things forward by myself. And I know that that sounds incredibly awful, but that's the truth of it. Anybody that is actually in academia and is trying to become highly productive, there's two ways that you can do this. You could just do the grunt work and just get it done. And that's what I chose to do. And the other way is to play the sort of relationship game that everybody has, where you're part of some sort of collaborative team that they all kind of share authorship on various different papers. And neither of those are really good outcomes. They're really not in any sort of way. I became, I developed a lot of weird things. I remember in graduate school, it was about my 4th year of graduate school and I was beginning, so my PhD, so I did, I fast-tracked my master's program. I did an engineering degree, and then I fast-tracked a 2-year master's program in 1 year. So I thought I was really confident, right? And then I got into my PhD, and I thought, hey, I was going to be like this amazing person and do all this stuff. I was at the top Canadian business school doing my PhD. People are going to argue with that, but that was my perspective, right? So I was there, I was doing my PhD, and I realized crap, this is pretty hard in the sense, and I was really kind of cocky going into it. And I started realizing that I have to push people away to actually get this work done. I was going to double major in finance and strategy, and I almost did it, right? Like I just didn't do my I think I had one more course to do in finance. And I had to do like the comprehensive exams of finance, and that just didn't work out. But what I realized is to become the person that I wanted to be, I would have to completely change who I was and be somebody that probably by the age of 40, that was 2 years ago, I would have been probably dead. And so I had to really change myself and who I was. And I really began to work on who I am personally. And it took a long time to develop this. And I'm still working on this, as you can see, is I am working on me as a person to not get enveloped in all of that productivity stuff, because that stuff eats you up and it turns you into a completely different person that you don't want to be in the long run. And you see this a lot, where you do see a lot of people that have a lot of things that are going on because of this productivity game, where they're focused on productivity, and they really struggle as a person. You could see that they're not doing well inside, so then they project this sort of productivity stuff onto everybody else. So what I recommend for you to do is really question that productivity stuff, right? First of all, productivity does not, there's all sorts of problems with it, like massive problems with it, right? So the more you sort of publish doesn't equate to actually getting you noticed more often. We know that the more that you write and do research doesn't equate to actually getting more publications. We know that is absolutely the truth. The more that you actually, keep doing these things in various sort of productivity things and pushing things away, doesn't necessarily equate to actually becoming more productive in any sort of way. So you end up feeling not good about yourself. And I've had to rebuild a lot of who I am. And what defines me as an individual. And now I still get caught up in all of the productivity stuff, but I want you to remember how to become a productive PhD and a PhD student. That's not necessarily the end goal. What you want to be is a better person by the time that you're done this. And you got to remember why you actually did it. Now, is it because we get tricked, and when we get into these PhD programs, because they are marketing to you? Remember, they're absolutely marketing to you. Every PhD program is marketing to you, including mine, right? Like, you have to get these publications. You have to get these publications. And reality is yeah, you know what? There's some truth to that. You need to because that's what the market demands, and it's true. That's what the market demands. But do you want to be a different person at the end of it in terms of being hollow? Or do you want to grow and become a better person? So to me, I think I'm choosing the latter, where I want to be a better person. So I have to actively engage in my kid's life. I have to actively engage in doing things like this, where I'm helping you out. I have to actively engage of pushing back some of this work, because I think that stuff is just as important as it is to being more productive. Now, remember this, there is a lot of things that you could do to become more productive, right? You can make your life all very efficient, and I used to really focus on that and cut out all sorts of different things. There's a whole literature from years and years ago in management that talks about this kind of stuff. But what we realize is that we didn't treat people very nicely when we focused on efficiently, and nobody was really happy with the situation. So I want to change academia. I want to change how we view it by doing one video at a time and having open conversations that this is unhealthy. It's not good for anybody. And I know it's not going to change the market. I know you're going to go and try to watch other videos on how to become more productive, but I want you to sort of reflect on Who do you want to be as an individual and as a person? Do you want to do things because you enjoy it and you love who you are? Or do you want to do it because you want to get one more publication? I don't know. The choice is yours. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.